Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be diving into a role that, well, let's face it, doesn't always get a ton of hype.
Yeah.
But stick with us because we're talking about Office Clerks and with RoleCatcher's insights, it's way more interesting than you might think.
It really is. We're going to uncover what this role is really all about. And believe me, these skills, they can really be valuable, like really valuable out there in the job market.
See, when I hear Office Clerk, I'll be honest, I'm picturing, mountains of paperwork, endless filing, but RoleCatcher's telling a different story, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's not just about, being a paper pusher, though. That can be an art in itself. It's about being that essential piece that keeps an organization humming, that keeps everything running smoothly.
Okay, so less about the stapler, more about being the central hub. I like it. So what are we talking about day to day? What's the inside scoop on an Office Clerk's world?
Think about it. You're often the first person a client encounters, right? You set the tone for that whole experience. So all that stuff RoleCatcher talks about with people skills, super vital.
Makes sense. You're the face of the company in a lot of ways.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just being friendly. You're also the one managing information flow, coordinating everyone's schedules, and you might even be the one booking travel for the whole team.
Wait, coordinating travel, that doesn't sound very entry level to me.
And there's more. The modern office clerk needs those tech chops too. They're the ones becoming spreadsheet masters, wrangling digital documents, maybe even putting together presentations. Remember that RoleCatcher story about the office clerk who used their Excel skills to totally revamp their company's whole inventory system?
Oh yeah, they went from spreadsheet guru to like a total rock star who streamlined their entire department.
Exactly. It just goes to show how much those tech skills matter, even in a role that people might not immediately think of as a tech-heavy job.
So it's not just answering phones and grabbing coffee, it's problem solving, tech wizardry, and being the welcoming committee all rolled into one.
You got it. And let's not forget those soft skills. Active listening, clear communication, those are like gold in any job, which RoleCatcher really emphasizes.
Right, so even if Office Clerk isn't your forever job, you're building skills that'll be useful no matter where your career takes you.
Building a strong foundation. But what if you do want to climb the ladder within a company? You think an office clerk role has that kind of potential?
That's what I'm wondering. That feeling of hitting a ceiling is a real concern for people.
Worried about getting stuck? Well, RoleCatcher's got you covered there. They actually lay out clear career stages for office clerks, all the way from starting as a trainee to, get this, becoming a supervisor.
Okay, so it's not just a maybe you can move up situation. It's here's how it's done, here's the roadmap.
Exactly. And get this, they give you real-life examples at each stage. Real people, real experience. You see exactly what each step up that ladder looks like.
All right, I'm sold on the whole career progression thing now.
Yeah.
But let's get specific here. What are those stages? What do they actually involve? So walk me through those stages. If I'm starting out as an office clerk, what's the usual path look like according to RoleCatcher?
They've got it broken down really well, actually. You usually start as a trainee, right? Getting a feel for how things work.
Getting those organizational muscles warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. Think like sorting mail, filing, answering phones, all that good stuff, the essentials.
Mastering the basics.
Yep. And then as you move up to a full-fledged office clerk, you get more on your plate, You might be managing the office supplies, maybe dipping your toes into bookkeeping, even coordinating travel like we were talking about before.
More responsibility, more decisions to make.
For sure. And this is where those tech skills really come into play. This is where you become the spreadsheet whisperer. And as you become a senior office clerk, you might even find yourself training new hires, managing schedules for a whole team, even giving your 2 cents on department budgets. It's a lot.
Wow, that's a whole different ball game from just grabbing coffee. You're basically becoming a leader at that point.
Right. And then finally, you hit the top. Office clerk supervisor. Now you're the one overseeing the whole department, making sure things are running smoothly, you're refining procedures. You might even be the one doing some of the hiring.
So you've gone from organizing files to basically shaping the future of the department.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty wild. And the best part is RoleCatcher doesn't just list these stages out of nowhere, They actually give you real world examples showing you how those skills you're building actually translate into real impact.
Yeah, it's one thing to say, oh, you could be managing budgets one day. But it's another thing entirely to hear about an actual office clerk who used their crazy organizational skills to, I don't know, find some cost savings and actually made their company's bottom line better. Those stories really hit different.
Totally. They make it feel real, attainable, which I
Oh,
think
yeah.
is super important because, let's be real, job hunting, kind of terrifying sometimes.
An understatement. Speaking of which, does RoleCatcher offer any help on that front? I mean, it's great to talk about career paths, but you got to actually land that office clerk job first.
This is where things get really interesting. RoleCatcher actually has some pretty awesome AI tools specifically designed to give you a leg up in the job market.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
We love a good competitive edge here on the deep dive. So how does it work? Does it just like magically find you a job?
It's not magic, but it's pretty close. Okay, so say you find a job posting, right? Something that really catches your eye. You can plug that whole thing into RoleCatcher, and their AI will go to town on it. It'll break it down, figure out exactly what skills and experience the employer really wants.
So it's like it can see into the hiring manager's brain, like X-ray vision for what they're looking for.
Basically. But it gets even cooler because then it takes all that analysis and it compares it to your CV. It'll show you where you might have some gaps, or areas you could beef up to make your application even stronger.
Okay, so it's not just about finding any job. It's about finding the right job, the one that you're actually a good fit for.
Exactly. And that's huge because it means you're not wasting time applying for stuff that's not a good match. You're targeting your search and making sure you're putting your best foot forward every single time.
That is seriously amazing. But what about those, like, robot gatekeepers? The applicant tracking systems that scan your CV before a real person even sees it.
Don't even worry about it. RoleCatcher's got you there too. They've actually got this AI feature that helps you tweak the language and formatting on your CV so that it's like music to those ATS robots' ears. It's like increasing your chances of actually getting past the bots and landing on a recruiter's desk, in front of a real person.
That is seriously impressive. It's like having a secret weapon for the, let's be honest, often terrifying world of job hunting. But it doesn't stop there, does it? What about prepping for interviews?
Oh man, this is where RoleCatcher's AI really gets to strut its stuff. They've got this crazy cool feature where you can actually record yourself answering practice interview questions, and then get this, the AI will analyze your performance.
Whoa, hold on a second. It's like having, like, a virtual interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly. And it's not just some generic feedback either, okay? The AI will actually give you pointers on your pacing, your tone, even your body language. Like, how crazy is that?
Okay, this is next level stuff.
Right. It's all about giving you the tools you need and, like, the confidence to go into that interview and absolutely kill it. But even with all the coolest tech in the world, you can't forget that human element?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So how does RoleCatcher bridge that gap between, like, the high tech and the human touch?
Yeah, the human touch is so important. So how does RoleCatcher bring that in, with all this talk about AI and everything?
Well, they've got this really neat feature where they actually use, like, a massive database of interview questions. And it's not just random general questions either. These are questions that are, like, organized by role, by the actual skill set. So you're getting practice that's actually relevant to the kind of job you're going for, which is amazing.
So it's not just about having the right questions. It's about helping you come up with, like, killer answers. Thinking about how fast you're talking, your tone, even if you're making eye contact, all that.
Yeah. It's like having someone help you polish your story, your career story. You come across as confident, prepared, ready to wow them. Right. It really shows how RoleCatcher is taking this really smart approach, blending the AI with that human element. To get that technology can be a huge help, but at the end of the day, it's still about you, how you connect with the hiring manager, that personal touch.
Absolutely.
I have to ask, though, with all this talk about AI and automation and the future of work, where does the role of the office clerk even fit in, down the line? Are we all going to be replaced by robot receptionists and AI assistants?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's on everyone's minds these days. And yeah, it's true that some of those more routine tasks, they might be automated. But get this, RoleCatcher's data actually suggests that the demand for skilled office clerks probably going to stay pretty strong.
So the robots aren't coming for us just yet. Phew. That's good news for anyone thinking about this career path. But I'm guessing, though, that the role itself, it's going to keep changing, right?
Oh, absolutely. The office clerk of the future, they've got to be adaptable. They've got to be tech savvy, always ready to learn new stuff. Think like data analysis, project coordination, maybe even some social media thrown in there. Who knows?
It's less about, like, checking boxes on a to-do list and more about being the one who can handle anything. The go-to person, right?
Exactly. And that's a good thing because it means the more skills you've got, the more valuable you are. It reminds you that a job title is just like a starting point. What matters is that you're willing to grow.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the office clerk,
hmm
what's like the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
Don't underestimate this role. I mean it. It's a chance to grow, to learn skills that employers really want, skills that'll be useful no matter what you end up doing in your career. And with tools like RoleCatcher, you've got the power to really take charge of your journey. Be strategic about it.
It's about being that behind-the-scenes superhero, the one keeping things running, but also having the drive and the resources to step up and take charge when you're ready.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for being here with us on the Deep Dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, even the roles that don't always get the spotlight, they can hold some seriously amazing opportunities.